Hello and welcome to my latest review. I am Brad Wiswall, and today I'm going to be reviewing I Care a Lot, which is now currently streaming on Netflix. I Care a Lot stars Rosamund Pike as a legal guardian who exploits all of her... Rosamund Pike stars as a legal guardian who exploits her clients, who are usually older gentlemen and ladies, that so she can take their money, take money from them as well. In the latest person that she's taken up, it's proven to be worth much more than she had bargained for. This one played by Diane Weist, and she ends up being related to or being involved with somebody who is a very nefarious person, being played by Peter Dinklage. The movie is a dark comedy. Well, I'll put it this way: it's supposed to be a dark comedy, but in the first half of the film, it plays itself off like that. It really revolves around the legal guardianship, and in that part, it's interesting. It's definitely a new type of movie that I really haven't seen before, where they would talk about how the legal guardianships work and how emergency guardianships work and how that can be easily exploited on people who are older but are able to take care of themselves. I thought that was an interesting dynamic that they don't really delve deeper into, just to show how nefarious the main character really is. As you can tell, the main character is not really that likable, but for some reason we are to root for this person, which the movie does not do a great job of really doing, of having us root for this character who is in all cases pretty slimy. Like I said, the first half involves the guardianship. The second half turns into a crime caper, and it stretches to unbelievable aspects when it comes to the characters. If I were to describe Pike in the movie, or Marla in the movie, I Care a Lot, it would be a female version of Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler. Very motivated, up to one goal, and she doesn't care about any kind of morality in order to actually achieve that goal. And she shows. She's always dressed very well. She's very cold and calculated in demeanor, maybe very icy, as one would say. And she is really worried about just one thing: how does it benefit her? And in this case, Pike's performance in this movie is very good because it shows that character very well, and she plays that character very well. It reminded me a lot of her performance in Gone Girl, about how icy and detached that character was in that movie. It's very similar to her Gone Girl performance, which was very good when it came out. The problems in this movie aren't the performances. The performances by Pike especially, Dinklage and Diane Weist are very good. The issue really is the script, and the script, which is by J Blakeson, who did The Fifth Wave and The Disappearance of Alice Creed. He also directed this film. The movie is really two parts. It's first the whole guardianship thing and how that works and how that would appear to be scummy, and how for someone to be successful, or someone like Merle to be successful in this, you'd have to be very cold and detached and not really care about what's going on. But in the second half, it turns into a crime caper, and the reason is because Peter Dinklage's character is a Russian mafia boss whose mother, who is Diane Weist, is the one that Pike decided to put into a conservatorship, or to put into that situation. So what ends up happening is a lot of threats are made, a lot of violence happens, and it's strange because it's unbelievable because of what she does in response. That's when the second half breaks the film apart, because the response that the main character takes is so unbelievable that it kind of breaks the film, and the the equating charm it had. It went from being now a dark comedy into a violent crime caper, which, as a violent crime caper, it doesn't work. You don't believe that this character, who in the first half of the film, yeah, morally is reprehensible, you didn't realize she was Jason Bourne at the second half of the film. And it makes it very unbelievable to watch while all the things are going on. And there's nothing eye-popping about the film itself. It's shot well. The performances are what make the film enjoyable throughout. Like I said, with Pike and with Dinklage in the film, they actually carry the majority of the film. The majority of it is carried by Pike. But with the way that they pulled the character from being in a dark comedy about legal guardianship, which I would have liked to explore more. It's very interesting when you watch the film and you realize how easily exploitable that all that is, into it being a nefarious crime caper where she's suddenly Jason Bourne and is able to fight off the Russian mafia by herself. Yeah, it goes to several shades of unbelievable, and not that unbelievable can't work. It can, but there was nothing in the beginning of the film that actually showed that the character was even remotely able to do what she does in the film. It's kind of like they made a first half of the film, made it interesting, and then forgot what to do in the second half, and they just turned it into that, and it really messes with the tone of the film. Would I recommend the film? Not necessarily. It's, like I said, the first half is good. The first half is interesting, and the performance by Pike is very good. Other than that, I really wouldn't bother with the film. It's a disappointing second half film, and it slides itself off into a different movie entirely, and the ending is a cheap ending. It just doesn't feel satisfying at all in the end, and it's one of those endings where you watch it and you realize, oh, they just ran out of ideas. They really did not know how to end this film, so they just stuck this into it, and that's it. We've got ourselves a film. Wrap it up. Let's go and shoot. And it could have been a lot better in this aspect. So, yeah, not recommending. I care a lot. There's really not much in the trivia department. This movie got an IMDb rating of 6.2 out of 33,000 votes, which a little surprising, but a lot of the reviews are negative on that. So, and the critics were 65. Metacritic rating was a 65 out of 38 critics, and a lot of them heap praise onto Pike, which, again, Pike's performance is good. She's actually very good in the film. But it's not a stretch to say that she can play an icy and cold character. So if you want to see a different shade of what she was in Gone Girl, then by all means, go ahead and watch it. But it's the performance can only go so far when the film itself is not very good in the end. So that'll wrap this review up of I Care a Lot. It's on Netflix right now. If you want to watch it, maybe you should. There's other things on there. I'm Brad Wiswall. Tune in next time for the next review, and I will see you next time.